What up, Dougie Doug? You know what? I'm gonna tell you a secret. I'm gonna tell you a secret. I'm gonna tell you a secret. You ready?
I'm ready, Donna.
Broke people talk mad shit about high ticket buyers because they got a broke ass mindset and can never be a high ticket buyer. Come to think of it, they'll probably never be a high ticket salesperson or a high ticket entrepreneur. They'll probably never see more than one comma in their bank account, and that'll be like just above that four-figure mark. They will probably never get the two commas in their bank account. They'll never know what seven figures look like, and they'll never worry about whether or not they need that FDIC insurance because that's for people who have at least $250,000 in there, and they never will. You know why? Because they broke as hell. That's all. That's the live. All right, that's all I got.
Well, Donna, I got to ask you because you put out a post here recently. Was it just yesterday?
Uh huh.
And what was the question you asked again?
I asked, a high ticket buyer is someone who, and then I
Oh, and
said
then it was a fill
sentence.
in the blank type.
Fill in the blank. Yep.
Yeah. And okay, because I looked at that and I actually remembered some of the answers.
Okay.
You
But you got,
remember what some of the answers were?
I saw one answer and I was like, okay.
I love this. I love this because they are wasteful,
Wasteful. Yeah. Hmm.
living on hopes and dreams.
Okay. Yep. Hmm.
But here's the best one, and I wanted you to know this
Okay.
because this impacts you.
Okay.
Inebriated.
Oh my God. You know what though? I just went to Montego Bay and I found out on April 18th at 4:18 p.m. that was my birthday. Now, mind you, on my birth certificate, I'm born 6 months before and after Jesus. But according to Crystal, who told those very nice people in that restaurant that I not only it was my birthday, but that I had been clean and sober for 5 years, and that's why I didn't drink and I only dabbled in heroin. So who knows? Maybe I am. Now, the funny thing about all of this is, of course, my birthday is June 25th, 6 months before and after Jesus, right? That's what I always say. By the way, y'all don't send me stuff talking about Jesus wasn't really, I know he wasn't born December 25th. Stay off me. That's number one. Number two, I've never had a freaking drink in my life, ever in my life. In fact, when they gave me a drink, remember they gave me like a swig at the table, I was like, oh my God. And I was like passing it back. Um, yeah, inebriated. It's funny, but what you just said is the mindset of people have a lack. They have lack in a scarcity mindset. So they see what people who have a wealth mindset do, and they think that those people, unless unless they are proactively giving their money away, they think those people are selfish. They think they're wasteful. They think they're stupid. They think they spend money foolishly. It makes no sense. They're living on hopes and dreams. They're hoping they can buy their success. Like I've heard all of that
Mm-hmm.
as if I wasn't homeless when I was 19,
Right.
right? But I also know what it takes a long way to go from a poor lack scarcity mindset to having a wealth mindset. And I recognize when I'm talking to people who don't have a wealth mindset.
Right. So when you're talking about wealth mindset, Donna, and you're talking about high ticket, what is the number one thing that, for those of us who may not understand, what is that number one key ingredient to a high ticket mindset as it relates to wealth that a lot of people may not get?
The number one, it really is that people who have a wealth mindset or that high ticket mindset, they are not looking to be in the messy middle. They're not looking to be on the lower end. And by the way, it doesn't mean they're spending high ticket on everything. Like they're not
Mhm.
spending high, they're not going to Walmart and going, I want the most expensive. They're no. It doesn't mean that they won't go to Walmart like they do. What it means is that for the things that matter to them, they want an exclusive and premium experience or access. And it is
Mhm.
not about the physical things, it is about the intrinsic value.
Right.
And if you cannot speak that language, if you don't know that language, if you don't understand that language, it's going to be very difficult for you to sell high ticket.
Right. So if I'm somebody who, okay, I've got, my offers right now. I want to break into that high ticket world. I want to break into that mindset. What do I do now? What's the first thing I need to understand in order to get from where I am now, mindset wise, to understanding that high ticket mindset, and especially like in the mindset of a high ticket buyer?
So how do you get from being Walmart to Neiman Marcus? Is that what
Yeah.
you're asking me? Um, all right, I'm gonna share a story. I'm gonna share a
Okay.
story. So, there's this guy that I know like 100 years ago. So I'm probably gonna get his name wrong. We'll call him Mike because I don't remember his name, but I knew him forever ago. And when I first ever met Mike, first ever, like I was in my early 20s. So this was before I even started my business intelligence company.
Okay.
Mike was working at Prestige Imports and he was washing cars. Now, let's talk about what Prestige Imports carried. They only carried really high end, high ticket vehicles, right? So, in that cocaine cowboy area in Miami, when they allowed you to pay for things with cash, that's where Mike worked. And so he would work on everything from a Murcielago to a Bentley to a Ferrari to a Diablo to a Murcielago. Like he's working on these really high end cars. You
Yeah.
know what's funny is Mike didn't have a car.
Oh, wow.
He didn't have a car. He used to have to. You know what? I just remembered that he did not have a car, but he used to wash these cars all the time. And he actually went and got his driver's license because he wanted to be able to move the cars from point A to point B. He couldn't even move them. He could only work in the bay. And then he started moving the cars from point A to point B. And
Hmm.
I remember us having this conversation, and he said, it wasn't until I got my butt in the seat of the car that I knew what it felt like to be behind the wheel. I'm going to
Yeah.
say that one more time.
Yeah.
It wasn't until he got his butt in the seat of the car that he knew what it felt like to be behind the wheel. And he said, but you know what? I didn't know what it felt like. I didn't know what it felt like to invest in one. I didn't know what it felt like to actually drive one on the street. I didn't know what it felt like to own one. But I did know what it felt like to sit behind one. He goes, and I knew every inch of those cars. He goes, and when I went home, I used to go and watch any documentary that I could. And he would go rent these documentaries back when you had to rent stuff. He would go rent these documentaries to find out, like, what did it take to build a Diablo? What does it take to build a Murcielago? What does it take to build a Bentley? Right? What does it take to build an Aston Martin? What actually went into them? He could also tell you the difference between sitting in a Diablo and a Porsche and a Bentley when you turn the key, what it felt like under your butt.
Hmm.
So if you were a person who were like, my knees and I want something smooth, he's not putting you in a Diablo. So he moved from a person who was working just cleaning the cars and knowing what the cars felt like to a person who could sell them
Hmm.
because he knew so much about them. He was so well versed in them. And when he would talk to clients who'd walk in, he'd ask them, so tell me, what do you want it to feel like when you get out of the car? What do you want
Oh,
it to feel like when you got in? He goes, because these people weren't there because of the price.
right.
They're there because of the prestige. And so he started speaking to them about the feeling of prestige. And he said, but Donna, it wasn't until I started being able to take home a loaner. So he's taking home a loaner Ferrari and Porsche. And he goes, and yeah, I had a sense of pride. He goes, but the pride was more of my company allowed me to do this kind of pride.
Hmm.
And so now he knows two things. There's a feeling about the car that he really likes, and there's a pride that goes into that feeling, but now he wants the next level. What does it feel like to own one? Mind you, he works at a dealership. And he said, let me tell you, I became general manager of this dealership, and yeah, they would let me drive any car I want at home, and that'd be great. He goes, but my neighbors knew? My neighbors knew that whether I showed up with a Ferrari, a Jaguar, or a Porsche, or Murcielago, or Diablo, or whatever, that it wasn't my car.
Hmm.
He goes, I didn't have that pride of ownership.
Yep.
He goes, and then I bought a used Aston Martin convertible. I think it was a DB6 at the time.
Very cool.
And he said, I now knew what it felt like to own it. He goes, and it was completely different than it was to wash it.
Hmm.
People who have a scarcity mindset will never have the privilege of knowing that feeling
Mm,
ever.
yeah.
There is a feeling of ownership.
Yeah, I love that. And sometimes you hear people say like, well, you can't sell high ticket unless you've bought high ticket. But here's a great example of somebody who worked their way there from a mindset perspective.
Right, right. That's the thing. He was able to sell it because he actually put himself so deep in it that he knew so much about it that when he talked about it. Now, here's the thing, he told me when he became the person, even though he was a general manager, that he owned a car, he
Yep.
then became stronger as a closer.
Sure, sure.
Because then he was saying things like, well, yeah, that's my Aston Martin right there.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it was a thing of game recognized game, and players are on the same field.
yeah. Well, and what I love about that too is that um, a lot of times people, I think, struggle to communicate value when it comes to high ticket. And this is a great example of he had the ability to communicate the value
Absolutely.
of that experience. And I want to ask you, so what do you think? What do you see a lot of entrepreneurs trying to do that's not working when they're trying to communicate? So they might have like a high ticket sticker or price on an offer, but they're not communicating that value. What are they trying that's not working?
So first, the way it's how they communicate it. So I'll use the car example. Is they'll say, "You want a nice car? This is a nice car. Look at the doors. They open like this instead of like this. Look at the tires. Did you see that? Those are Pirellis. Did you see them? They're Pirellis, and they're not just any Pirelli. They're the extra wide Pirellis on the back, and they're staggered. Did you see the wheels? Those aren't any wheels. Those are 21-inch wheels. Now they're not just 19s or 18s or 17s. Those are 21s. 21s, right? Did you see the leather? There's leather in the car. You like to sit on leather? I like leather. And it's not just any leather, it's all over the seat leather. We didn't just put it on the front, put it on the whole damn thing, right? That's what they do. They sell the things, right? You're just sitting here going, holy shit, she knows a lot about cars.
Not only that, but I'm kind of like, bye.
Right? Exactly. Exactly. So what happens is they sell the things and they keep saying, you want somebody you want it done for you? I got it done for you. You want this? I got that. They keep doing it and they do it over and over again. And so what happens is people get frustrated with them because they
Yep.
feel like they're not speaking the same language, right? They keep selling the thing and not why the thing matters to the buyer.
Mm. Hmm.
That's what they keep selling. They're
Yeah.
selling the thing, but not why. So, in other words, they're selling this Ferrari has staggered wheels. It's wide on the back and narrow on the front. What they're not selling is the staggered wheels make the Ferrari more aerodynamically powerful, which
Hmm.
means the front is lower, the back is higher. And when the air comes through, it's going to cause the air to come through and touch the plate. And that plate is going to push the car down closer to the ground. And so you're going to have way better control. Oh, there's actually a reason for it to be staggered. That
Mm.
is a benefit to the customer. But they don't communicate that,
Right.
right? And that's what happened when I talk to entrepreneurs. They're like, and we could do this for you, and we could do your colors, and we could do your thing, and we could do, or you could go to this place and we're gonna do that. It's like if we were selling the mansion retreat and we're like, and you're gonna get your own bed. Yeah, you are gonna get your own bed. But I mean, we're reducing our cuddle with a struggle, right?
Right.
It's not about that. It's really about you're going to be in a mansion for 4 days. Yes, you will have your own room because we know that is a concern. Yes, you will have your own private bathroom because we know that is a concern. Yes, we're doing it in Orlando because we know that's the easiest place to get in and out of. And Disney dollars does not allow Orlando Airport to be shut down
Hmm.
at all, ever. Right? I know it's big, but you can actually get from the beginning to your gate in less than 10 minutes. Yes, those are all the tangible things that you care about. But here's what's important. You have access to sit across from me and Chanel and Doug at any given moment and ask whatever question popped into your head at that second. You have the opportunity to literally stand there and say, this is what I'm doing, and get feedback from 20 experts on your shit, no, your stuff, and we're all leaned into it. When is that going to happen again in your life? You are getting stuck. You now have 20 people to help remove that obstacle.
Yeah.
That's the benefit. It's not the thing. Too many entrepreneurs, when they're selling high ticket, they spend a lot of time selling the thing. It would be me selling, you're going to be in a big house. You're going to have your own room. You're going to be able to sleep in your own bed. You're going to have a private chef. Yes, we have all those things. The benefit of having a private chef is we don't care if you're gluten free, if you're a vegetarian, if all you eat is ice. We got some artisan fucking ice for you, right? We have it covered so that
Yeah.
your experience can be one that you don't have to think about all those external crazy factors and you can focus on your business.
So what I love about this, Don, and it's just clicking into place for me, is that when we're at the mansion retreats, the other thing that this just became so clear is that it's not just 20 other people, but what you're saying is it's 20 other people who have the mindset of a high ticket buyer that's giving you feedback to help you calibrate your message to be able to tune right into that so you're on
Absolutely.
that same frequency.
One of my favorite things to ask people when they're working with us is I go, well, am I your ideal client? And they'll go, no. And I'm like, why not? Or here's my other favorite question to ask people. And not that I'm everybody's ideal client. I know I'm not. But here's another really good question for people to think about, especially when they're thinking about doing high ticket. Here it is. If your ideal client had the time, the money, and everything else in their life that was just perfect, they got time to spend. They're not stressed. They got money. They got extra cash in the bank. They got everything is going well for them. They're good. Their hamster wheel is hamstering, right? They're getting the
Yep.
cheese. The cheddar's hitting the account. Everything's going
Yeah.
good. They got $100,000 months on repeat. What can you do to help them?
Yeah.
Most people are not high ticket sellers because they literally say, how fucked up are you? So that, and you need to be really messed up so I could put on my super suit and I could swoop down to the bottom of the barrel and I can save you.
Mm-hmm.
A high ticket seller does not think like that. I don't own a super suit.
Right.
I recognize that my clients don't want to be saved. They want tweaks.
Right.
They want slight movements, left or right, because they know that in the game of golf, a half a degree off is the difference between Tiger Woods being a multi-millionaire and just another dude on the course struggling to get the ball to the hole.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's a great example, too, because, I mean, one different place in terms of how you finish in a tournament could be that $1 million. I mean, because you're talking about just those minute tweaks
It's
and adjustments.
and that's what a high ticket buyer wants.
Yeah.
They're not looking for someone to come in and save their life. They're not
Mhm.
looking for someone with a super suit. They are literally looking for someone to come in and make tweaks to their game because they know those tweaks are the things that are going to take them to the next level. That's what they're
Yeah.
looking for.
Yeah. I love that. So this brings up one more question about like what is the impact of like only having like one offer and not having high ticket in your arsenal?
When you only have one offer, you're asking someone like me, who's generally a high ticket buyer, to hang out in the messy middle.
Hmm.
Right. So I'll give you a really good example. Chanel is on this class, and one of the things she said was the hard part for her about being in the messy middle in this class, because they didn't have other higher ticket offers, was that she has to go at the pace of the class.
Oh, yep. Yep.
And so she's in that messy middle where she's only going to be as fast as the slowest person.
Right. Yeah.
Right. When you're a high ticket buyer, you actually can say, listen, I want to, yes, I want to be in class, but I also want to be able to, go a little faster, accelerate,
Yeah.
get on the phone with you if I want to. I want to be able to ask you specific questions about my stuff. I want to be able to just go a little bit forward, a little bit faster. I want something a little bespoke. That's what a high ticket buyer generally wants. They want to get out of the messy middle. So if you get someone like me or Chanel, like for example, Chanel will never buy a messy middle class again
Mm-hmm.
because she's like, it's taking so much longer than I want it to take. And it's frustrating her. So now she's at the point of, I'm not going to quit, but because I invested money. But if I hadn't invested all this money, I would quit. So what happens to the seller? You're now finding people that are leaving because you
Mm.
didn't have a higher ticket offer, whereas they would have stayed because they would have been like, boom, I could actually make it to this higher ticket level and I could crush it there.
I love that because that acceleration process, this is another big thing that I've noticed about the mindset of a high ticket buyer. And you and Chanel have taught me this as well, is that when you get on a call with somebody and you're interested in their services, and then they say, well, take this master class or whatever. I think you had a call not too long ago and you had already done your homework. You wanted to just talk to that person, just get a feel for them, and you had your cards, you were ready to slide, and they almost talked you out of it, didn't they? Because they
No,
kind
they
of want,
did talk us out of it because
yeah,
we were like, they literally we were looking for someone on LinkedIn, and we were like, listen, we've seen your stuff, we've reviewed all your things, we've seen what you do from results. Can we get on a call? We know how much your stuff is because you've said it on your videos.
yep.
Can we get on your call? I would like to talk to you about that offer and maybe whatever secondary offers you may have because I was looking for the higher tier offer. And she was just like, yeah, yeah, yeah. If you can get on my masterclass. And I was like, no, I know what LinkedIn is. Like, I know what LinkedIn is. If you have a video you need me to watch before we go forward, I'm cool with that too. Yeah, yeah. No, no, no. I don't think I'm clear. I want to talk to you because I want to talk to you not only about your middle tier offer, but what is your higher tier offer? Because I'm ready now. Um, yeah, can we get on the phone? And she goes, well, yeah, what I usually do is usually, and I'm like, yes, for the 90% of the people that you get that are going to haggle with you about money, I am sure you do that. What I am asking you, can we go ahead and get on a call so I can buy your higher tier offer? Um, yeah, no, you're going to have to get on my masterclass. I was like, bye. Because that was the only direction, that's all she had.
So she was so limited in her thinking because there was
She
only
lost a
one
$15,000,
path.
$20,000 deal because she had only one path.
Unbelievable. And how many times have you had a conversation? How long does it take you, Donna, to sniff out if somebody has money mindset issues?
Usually after the first question.
And what are some of the things that jump out at you when you have that conversation and immediately you know that they have wobbles about money?
Oh, they immediately talk about how they're going to go in and save the world. That's the first thing that I hear. I have to put on my super suit and I have to go in and I have to save someone. And when we talk about charging, and I'm like, hey, you know what? You're not charging enough. I can't charge more because my people won't pay that. And I'm
Mm.
like, are you a coach because it makes you feel like a superhero? Or because I'm gonna tell you right now, Superman ain't making no money. He got a whole second job. He works as Clark Kent. He never takes a penny at all for being a superhero. Superheroes don't get paid. Look at him. Even Tony Stark is a billionaire not because of his superhero work. That's his hobby.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, superheroes are listen. Superheroes do not if they lived off of their superhero salary, they would be broke.
Yeah.
They don't get paid. If you look at the ones who have money, they were all billionaires from some other thing. It was not from being a superhero.
Yeah.
Take off your super suit.
And what you just said is very interesting because people are saying, well, because my people won't pay that. And
Right.
that's like they're calibrating to their current clients.
Right. Only to their current client who are BBFU graduates.
Right. They're not
That's who
focused
they've been
on
chasing.
who they want. They're focused on who they got.
Right. Exactly. And that's their whole money mindset. That's the high ticket mindset. It's a money mindset. It's so funny how people just really don't understand what a high ticket offer is. They don't understand that a high ticket offer does not mean you only have a high ticket offer.
Hmm.
Right? They don't understand that a high ticket offer is a part of your trifecta of signature offers. Like they don't get
Mhm.
any of that at all. They just think if you're selling high ticket, you're not working with anyone else. Number one. Number
Mm.
two, people aren't going to buy from me if I'm selling high ticket. Number three, they really struggle with being able to communicate high ticket. Now, my best clients, my best clients, they're already doing 30 or 45% sales.
Mhm.
They recognize that they don't know how to do a high ticket offer, but that they probably are leaving money on the table. So they recognize I'm leaving money on the table.
Yeah.
And what they want is they really want to come and sit with me and they're like, okay, not only do I want you to tell me how to craft and structure a good high ticket offer, I want you to tell me how to make more of those offers so I drive more leads from them. And then I want you to tell me how to sell high ticket offers because selling high ticket offers is quite different from selling regular offers.
Right.
Again, you can't go in there talking about, look, you got leather. That's not how you sell a high ticket offer.
Yep. I love this. So what
And
is
wait, and here's the thing. I'm going
okay.
to use that example again. Here's the thing. If you go in, and I'll use the car example, if you go in and you're selling a car, high ticket car, and you go and look, it has leather seats. A high ticket buyer is going, no shit. Of course, it has leather seats. But if you point out the leather seats, they immediately know that you have no idea how to sell high ticket.
Right.
They already know that you have no idea how to sell high ticket. You have just outed yourself. That's why selling high ticket is very different from selling everything else. Because if you point out those leather seats to a high ticket buyer, they're looking at you like, do you want to show me the steering wheel as well? Like they already know. They already know. They're like, are you serious right now? Did you just show me the leather seats? They know
Yeah.
that. Yeah. It's like selling a house and going, look, it has a roof.
Yeah.
Really? Your first house you're selling here, I see. You never been in one before? Right? Yeah. High ticket has a different language, different level of expectation. You have to know how to speak to it.
I love this because what we're talking about today is all about the mindset piece. So even, you just opened up a whole another set of lives in terms of how to structure that offer, how to sell that offer, how to put it all together,
How to
but
communicate it.
how to communicate the value of it and everything. But at the end of the day, if your mindset's not right, all of those other things aren't going to matter if you don't have that mindset foundation of that
Absolutely
high
not.
ticket
Absolutely
buyer.
not. Absolutely not. And I'll tell you, Doug, when I went from being, a keynote speaker or a speaker who would do like, oh, I got a speech for 5,000 to a speaker who was 25,000, I will tell you one of the biggest differences was how I communicated.
Mm,
Because the people who I spoke to weren't teetotaling whether I had slides or not. They, I wasn't asking them for permission for deadlines. It was a completely different way of communicating.
mm,
You can't just slap a ticket price on it and sell it. You actually have to know how to communicate it and speak
right.
the language of that buyer. Otherwise, you're like those people who responded on that post. Your broke ass is faking it.
Yeah. Well, that's why I love what you and Chanel do in terms of at the Sales Academy and the Unmastermind is you spend so much time trying to help people understand those nuances because those are the critical things. They're going to help increase those close rates
Exactly.
and the overall experience.
Overall experience.
Yeah.
So listen, if people really want to know how to, you know, do high ticket offers, or if they just really, they're looking at their offers and their offers need to be structured better. So if their offers need to be structured better, if they really want to land more leads, so they want to they want to structure their offers better and they want to make more offers. They want to land more leads because they really do need to land more leads. And they want to be able to increase conversions of high ticket buyers because you can do that. If you have a service product, you absolutely can do that. Then you should go to salessuperstar.net. The salessuperstar.net crash course is a way to fast track your conversions. It starts May 16th at 6:15 p.m. It is a 6-week class. It is, and I say class, which is not really true. It is truly hands on.
Yeah.
It's on the job, hands on training and coaching and The other great thing about it is it does have that bespoke portion of it where you work with me or Chanel or Doug privately. And then on top of that, we have a 21-day challenge that's involved in it to make sure that you know how to actually sell. We don't want to just talk about it. We want you to actually sell something. It's like
Yeah. And people really get into that challenge, and it's a lot of
they
fun.
get into that challenge and they make money during the challenge. That's what I like about it. It's on the job training. It's hands on, earn while you learn.
Yeah.
That's coming up, salessuperstar.net. And if you're going, damn it, I'm not available May 16th, besides the fact that we have the replays, then you should definitely be talking to us about coming to July 22nd. Is that right? July 22nd through the 25th. Sounds right. Let's go with
Yeah.
it.
We'll go with it.
July 22nd to the 25th in Orlando. That's where we're having the Unmastermind. We only allow 20 entrepreneurs to show up. And what we talk to them about is how do you actually, and I think we're at 16 already.
Yeah. I was going to say, we only have like,
We're close,
we're really
right?
close.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're really close. Okay, I just thought about that when I said it out loud.
Yeah.
I was like, oh wait. I think we're already up to 16 or
Yeah.
13. It's either 13 or 16, Wait. No, it's 16. It's 15. It's 15. We're at 15. So we're at 15 right now. So there's 5 slots left. We do pick if you want to get in general admission, you can get in general admission, which means you don't stay at the mansion. If you want to stay at the mansion, you can do that as well. Just drop a line in my DMs, hit up me or Doug. Either one of us will work. We talk to people, and we'll talk to you about really changing the game for your business because that's what the Mastermind does. We've seen some amazing things come out of it.
Awesome. I'm excited. This was great, Donna. Thank you for all of this.
Thank you,
You know how much
Kevin.
I love mindset, and this was like a glimpse into that high ticket buyer mindset and some of those things that really, really make the difference in terms of how to speak that language.
Absolutely. All right, sweetie. I will talk to you later. It was amazing to talk to you.
Sounds good. Thank you.